All right, going to call the. Going to call the meeting to order at got 7:39. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Put cookies on it?
Yeah, got rolling all over your phone, bro.
Mr. Mannery, please call the roll.
Trustee Chiccanetti.
Present.
Trustee Hillier.
Present.
Trustee Pennock.
Present.
Fiscal Officer Patriarca.
Present.
All here and accounted for, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the August 18th, 2020 meeting, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Mr. Mannery, please provide a summary of the work session.
Mr. Chairman, the trustees spoke with Carol Fife from the Ohio Insurance Network spoke with her about becoming our health insurance broker. The trustees spoke with Keith Mitchell, who's the new representative from Paul Mary Builders. He came in to discuss Phase 3A at Fairway Pines. The administrator gave an update on the community reinvestment area application that we are making. We talked about CARES Act purchases that are permitted under the CARES Act rules. The trustees went into an executive session for the purposes of discussing negotiations with for economic assistance from another political subdivision. The trustees discussed adding a Roth 457 retirement plan from the Ohio Deferred Compensation. Trustees discussed a sign that is at the corner of Overlook and Riverside that is obstructing the view of people pulling out from Overlook. Trustees discussed passing a resolution tonight to join the special improvement district that's being formed throughout all of the Lakeshore communities in Lake County. Trustees discussed the possibility of implementing limited home rule in the township, and we'll continue to discuss that at future meetings. Trustees discussed a complaint at the corner of Barrington Ridge and Kingsborough. Line of sight complaint. That's about it, Mr. Chairman. We spent a lot of time on those topics.
You did indeed, thank you. Is there any old business from the floor? If there's anybody listening and you want to discuss something that was discussed in a prior meeting, now would be the time. Is there any new business from the floor? If there's anybody listening who would like to speak to the trustees and address an issue, this would be the time. Okay, we're going to move on. There's no representative here from the Lake County Sheriff's Office. So move on to department reports, starting first with Mr. Incredible Service Director.
So the OPWC round 35 application is in progress. It is due September 15th, and we'll be ready for that. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Move on to our fire department, Chief.
Several interesting calls in the last couple of weeks, but one of them I definitely want to bring up and make the trustees aware of is that we had an incident where someone went in and attacked a homeless camp. Yeah. And we had people living in the woods next to E-Check in tents. And another individual, I guess, that was staying there at one point or another, went in with a handsaw and started cutting the people up as they were sleeping in the tents. And we ended up flying 2 people to Metro, and 4 people ended up going to the hospital. The 2 that were flown were pretty severely injured, with cut up. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure that the sheriff's department has vacated that area. So it shouldn't have that problem there again, but just so you guys are aware that that was going on there, and that we did have that incident.
I asked Mike to contact the property owners too to see if need be, if they would trespass people that were living there, so that give the sheriff's teeth to remove them if they came back. Whatever.
The sheriff's department has been sitting in the true value, whatever, the parking lot there more often recently.
Okay. So like I said, I know it was on the sheriff's department website and whatnot, or the Facebook page, but I don't know if it made the paper, but again, just to give you guys details on what happened there. Other than that, the only thing I want to bring up is that Lieutenant Thompson and Theo were featured on WKYC for National Dog Day. And they did a nice feature on him. That was
Very nice feature.
Yeah, very nice. And I don't know, about 10 minutes worth, or a couple, maybe not that long, 5 minutes worth. Yeah. But anyways, they made him look good, the dog look good, and the department look good. So it was a nice feature. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Zoning department, who wants to speak from zoning? Mr. Constantine first. You have anything? Microphone's probably off. Harley? Maybe my microphone's off.
There you go. No.
I have nothing to add, Mr. Chairman. I did leave a report in the folder just for the trustees to review the workflow and the numbers that have been incoming in the zoning office for the past 5 years.
Yeah, I did look at that, and there's rather a large drastic increase, what you mentioned last meeting, so it's very clear on the graphs. Thank you for sharing that.
So one thing I had briefly discussed with Harley, that some other townships in Lake County some have already instituted part of this, and then others have looked at another part of it, where first one would be fencing under a certain linear footage of fencing that they do not require a zoning permit to install that fence as long as they follow our guidelines. They don't require a fence permit up to, I would have to look it up, but 80 linear feet or whatever it was. I have to get the number. 2 townships have implemented this in Lake County already. The other one that they're talking about is small sheds, and it was mainly to address the type that you get at, say, Sam's Club, those small 8x8 Rubbermaid plastic ones that you can put up, that those as well don't require a zoning permit as long as you follow the setbacks based on those. Her and I briefly looked at, what was that, like last month's workload or last 2 months?
Yeah.
And it was something like 30% of her workload was dealing with permits that would fall under the purview of that change. So she would have to, we had one that, I think we had one that was like a 6x8, shed.
Yeah,
And the 20 foot of fence was another one, I think. So just looking at the increased workload, and this isn't, I'm not creating the wheel here. There's they already implemented this in other townships in Lake County to reduce the workload and the burden on the homeowners. They don't require to pay for a permit in order to put those small accessory fences or structures up, as long as they follow the setback guidelines within the zoning code.
yeah, and the numbers that we looked at, I believe it was around 100 square feet was the sheds that we were looking at. As far as the fencing under that lineal square footage, I think maybe one that would qualify under that, but a majority of it is sheds, and we get 8x10 to, I'd say 10x12 is the most common.
I think we looked at anything under 100, and we had a couple that were like 6x8s, which I think are those Rubbermaid ones that you can pick up at Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Good size.
So that's what I'm getting.
Pretty big.
Yeah, so like we say, and I think we even were under 100, and there was a couple, and they're like 8x10, 8x8s. Do we find a smaller one that at least, especially if they're those smaller type of structures, that as long as they follow setbacks to reduce some workload, and you give, I'm just giving some idea based because we're talking about the workload that they're seeing an increase. If we could reduce some of that with some simplification of what we're doing, and not recreating the wheel, because it's already, we could look at what these other communities have implemented and see how it looks to us. So
my initial reaction to that is I don't care for it, because the purpose of the permit is to ensure that the property owner sticks it in the right spot, or actually does not stick it outside what we have. And so when they submit a plan, they're forced to have that looked at, and it creates that conversation. I just think it's a value to the adjoining properties, for that to happen, because there's another set of eyes, in this case Harley, looking at it and helping to ensure that it's done properly. I'm not sure what they put up so much as to protect the adjacent homeowners. It just forces that conversation. I don't know how much work it is for all that, and you don't even go out and check the property lines probably after they're done. So, the only time you go is if somebody complains.
You just said 30% of it.
Well, 30
Well,
times to do
permits,
it,
the
to set the
permits.
paperwork up, the
That's
permits.
the permit.
Then if there's a problem, then we go out and we look at the problem, then we make them move it. But if there's no complaint made.
So this will
so having-
essentially fall into that same thing as we're getting at.
All right, my gut reaction is I would prefer the permit, because I want to have a body who knows what they're doing, look at the plans and just give the thumbs up, thumbs down, as opposed to, resident calling and finding out they don't need a permit and they just stick it wherever. And then finding out that's causing a problem, and then the neighbor won't complain because it is a problem, and great hardships there too.
I'd like to learn more what other communities are doing.
All right, I'll call the communities I know that are doing the fence, have already instituted the fence one, and I'll get them to send that over to us so we can address that, look at that one first, since that one has been implemented, and then we can go from there, just see what it looks like. There we go.
Okay, anything else, Harley?
And no, that's it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Move on to our legal advisor.
The only thing I have is to touch base on that lesser agreement again. That the one little glitch we had last time, was mentioned that technically listed on their Stewart, not Larry, is listed as the owner, but Stewart died in March. So Larry is the owner, and so the other reason to enter into the agreement is that if there does end up being an issue, somehow it doesn't probate to him, it would actually be his problem, not our problem. Part of that agreement is a sworn affidavit that he is the owner and is authorized to act on his behalf and enter into this agreement. So if for some reason something happened and he didn't become the owner, he would be in breach of that agreement and would be possibly sued for representation on the agreement. So there's no reason for us not to enter into it because of that. And the complaint is filed against him as the owner. Technically, his lawyer probably can just file the motion to dismiss at the time. Not the owner, but he didn't because he was representing that he is the owner. So that's not a reason not to enter into the agreement. If that becomes an issue, it's an issue for him. It's not an issue for us.
Okay. You've already done that though, right?
I don't think you actually voted on
We
it.
tabled it last.
We tabled because of the ownership issue on the deed when we looked.
So I just wanted to clear that up so it can be.
Is it on here tonight, Mike?
It's on, I don't believe that
It was on the work session, but I
It's
don't.
on the work session, that's right.
So we're gonna have to make an amendment to, or a motion to amend
The
the
agenda.
agenda. And then I'm gonna need something written up that I can read, because God knows I won't get it right.
You want to pull up last week's
It
and
was
just
last week's, and I can
see what
read
it's,
that.
or last month, and we'll just read
No,
it
probably
exactly
right
what
here.
it said.
No, it was tabled, yeah, it was tabled, it should be here.
That would be the summary wouldn't be
The verbiage.
I need it right now, I'm sorry.
Do you have access to the last month's meeting agenda, Mike?
yes, I do.
There we go. Just read our screenshot.
Oh, you know what? Oh, it would be under.
I can bring it up myself, Mike, if it's on
I'm sure
there.
it's in the file.
I've got it right here.
Oh, it'd be under,
There you go.
hers.
There it is, right there, Chuck. There it
The
is.
number 8.
There you go, Chuck. We need to change the date.
No, that's still the
There
date.
you go, Chuck.
You know, my son.
It's right there, Chuck.
Yeah, I got it in front of me too here, so I can go straight ahead and read it.
So we'll just
I'll
roll.
bring it up when you're doing, I'm gonna minimize this, but I'll bring it back up when you're doing it.
We need a motion and, vote to amend the,
It's not here. Thought it was.
so just ask for a motion to, first, to amend the meeting agenda to add a resolution to enter an agreement with a homeowner, a property owner.
Yeah, that's sufficient memory.
There you go.
All right, let's go back to the part of the reports. Anything else from our legal advisor?
That's all.
Thank you, our administrator, Mr. Manners.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to mention that even though we have had to cancel all of our community events this year so far, the trustees still plan on holding the annual resident document shredding day that the trustees personally sponsor on Saturday, September 19th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Behind the service garage at the corner of Hardy Road and Fairport Nursery Road. So we're pleased that we can still put that event on. And I wanted to point out that the trustees donated 350 face masks to Project Hope yesterday, which they appreciate.
Very nice.
So I'll put up, I saw Concord, they've been doing document shredding now too, I guess. And they just put on their Facebook page that, which is pretty much kind of like what we do, but they said that trunk, if possible, or an accessible door where we can open and grab it, residents to stay in the car, and there will be no getting out to view shredding, that they have to leave it with us.
We'll provide them with a certificate if they
Certificate,
require it.
Right, okay.
A certificate of what?
We can get a certificate from the shredding company that their document was shredded to provide them if they want.
Okay.
It's gonna be generic, I mean, it's not gonna be customized to them, but
It just says we shredded your stuff.
Can we maybe just get like a bin or something like that, that they can just drop stuff off into a bin?
some of those are older people that,
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Okay.
I think it's easier, they just roll up, what we generally do is they roll up, since you've never been there, they roll up, we open the trunk, and we grab it out and we dump it, but some people like wanna get out and watch it, hand it up to the truck,
Would you like to be there?
What day is it?
we'll split 4 ways.
Saturday, September 19th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Something going on.
I find that very surprising.
I'm getting married that day.
We'll still split
I
it
know,
4
they
ways.
could just come to my office and I'll toss it in my shredding bin. I got it.
I'll put that on Facebook too. Stop by his office.
Enter on the west side of the driveway, circle around,
I got me going to let Val-
dump it right in front of his door, and then just leave.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's get back
Thank you
to
for
the
that
meeting.
generous offer.
You're very welcome.
All right, gonna move on to our fiscal officer.
Request a resolution to amend the permanent appropriations resolution. It's mainly for some of the, but anyways, general fund, 1,016,777. Motor vehicle license tax, 50,000. Gasoline tax, 300,000. Road and bridge fund, 1,811,474. Police, 769,771. Fire district, 5,404,219. Permissive motor vehicle license, 200,000. Corona virus relief fund, 254,621. Lighting assessment, 137,610. And OPWC grant, 300,000, for a total of 10,244,472.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Also request a resolution to certify the cleanup cost for 103 Sycamore Drive in the amount of $197.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, trustees, I need a motion, and if I get this wording incorrectly, please correct me, Mr. Isu, but I need a motion to add a resolution to the agenda to enter into an agreement with a homeowner.
Can we get more specific?
Property owner.
Property owner.
With the property owner.
Amend the, agenda.
Agenda.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, that's what I started off with. We good? Okay.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Trustees, I need a motion to request a resolution that Painesville Township will pick up the statutory required employee contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for the employees of Painesville Township pursuant to Internal Revenue Code Section 414H2.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trustees, I need a motion to request a resolution to approve payment of $3,030.74 to Sutphen Corporation for vehicle maintenance for the fire department.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trustees, I need a motion to request a resolution to approve payment of $3,578 to Phoenix Safety Outfitters for turnout gear for the fire department.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. These I need a motion to request a resolution to rescind resolution number 2020-059, which was the original resolution to request the Lake County Commissioners to establish a community reinvestment area in Painesville Township.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trustees, I need a motion to request a resolution for the Lake County Commissioners to establish a community reinvestment area in Painesville Township.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trustees, I need a motion to request a resolution to authorize employees to voluntarily participate in the Ohio Deferred Compensation Roth 457 plan.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trustees, I need a motion to request a resolution to authorize Painesville Township to join a special improvement district with all the communities along the lake shore in Lake County.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Discussion?
Oh.
Just,
I gotta read that resolution.
Pull it back one way.
Okay.
just the way that's worded, are all of the communities along the lake shore joining? All?
Yes,
I mean, all day.
there's 13 of us and all of us have agreed to join.
We're the last ones?
No, we're all in this we're all in this, at this stage of the
Okay,
process.
No further discussion.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, trustees, need a motion to request a resolution to approve the settlement of a zoning complaint filed in Painesville Municipal Court against Larry Lester, case number 1902595, dated August 5th, 2020.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trustees?
Yes.
Any discussion, anything else?
Yeah. And we didn't get to it, the security cameras at Crystal Park.
I called Jim Severs and he said we need to have Wi-Fi there in order to send the pictures anywhere.
He doesn't have the cellular cameras, no?
We had there was some more damage we discovered today, and we started a conversation today. John thinks that we can use some trail cameras
Okay.
that hunters use that are battery powered. He started to do the research on it. We've got some more work to do with it, but there was more damage we found this afternoon, and so that kind of.
Do we need to temporarily, I mean, if we need to temporarily close the park, we could do that if there's safety damage.
My gut feeling is once the kids get back to school, this is gonna really die down a lot, but.
And we've gone, how many years we had this thing, how
Yeah.
many issues, you
Well,
know?
but as kids grow up and get older and start getting into that.
Well, maybe, hopefully too, maybe they get.
They grow out of it.
Yeah.
But I think for just a few $100s, we'll be able to get these and get them set up, and he's familiar with them, he's used them himself, he knows.
Let me ask you a question. So do we have an open and closed time on that park?
There's no signage. No.
So what I'm getting at, would that give us the ability, if we say park open dawn till dusk, right? Let's just say that. After that, will be considered trespassing, then we'll give the authority for the sheriff's office to have anybody that's there after dusk trespass them for being on the property. So maybe that's something else we do, that get a dawn till dusk. Anybody after that, outside of that will be considered trespassing. And then that'll give the sheriff's office the authority to trespass anybody on there outside of that time frame
Mhm.
to help control some of that. That way, if we set up the cameras, we catch somebody there at dark, they're not trespassing, and there could be, more legal ramifications for doing so,
Make sure we get ones that are high enough quality that if something happens and we need the video for some reason, that
Yeah.
we're not scratching our heads looking at something.
We don't look like all the stores around here who post videos of somebody stealing, and it looks like it's a 1984
Yeah,
8-bit camera.
so if there's quality, obviously as how you go up in price, you get better quality, so we should definitely.
That would make it a lot easier for us.
Yeah.
Plus it would make it safer for COVID too.
Where are we at on the cabin sign? You still waiting on those poles?
No, we need to get it built, but I need somebody to meet us over there. Let's find out where we're gonna put it.
Okay, I mean, we'll go over there and I'll
Okay,
find a space, send them a picture, and then everybody can,
okay. I'll get in touch with you then.
I'll send Mike a picture and he can deal with it.
Anything else?
John?
Okay, need a motion to adjourn at 8:06.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in.
Hey, Mike, before you close that.
Yeah.
It says, there's a little 5 people joined up in the top right, can you click on that?
It's,
All of us.
somebody could be viewing and not joining.
Oh,
Actually,
Can we find out who that is, Jeremy?
What's that?
you're the 5th person. I was trying to figure out who 5 were, I guess Mike is the 5th.